Welcome everyone to another edition of Play It Through, and on this edition it's the Goonies, brought to us by Konami. Based on the very successful 80s film, Goonies 1 was actually only released in Japan for the actual Famicom. However, it did make an appearance in North America as part of the NES Versus series of arcade systems. Even though it was never brought over to North America, the first Goonies game is still a very fun action platformer. We get to travel through many different levels, while playing as Mike, the leader of the Goonies, trying to save his friends. So here we go with the Goonies for the NES. One of my favorite things right off the bat is the stage theme, an 8-bit version of the Cyndi Lauper song Goonies Are Good Enough, the theme for the movie. In the game, we have to collect bombs in order to blow up doors that collect the other items that are behind them. So jump over and kick one of the mice, and then you'll get your first bomb. Go over to the left and blow up the door and get one of the items there. Each of the maps have a certain amount of items, however their locations change each and every time you play the game. Over to the left of this, you saw that I was able to kick in the air and end up getting a pair of headphones to appear. A lot of the items are kinda like that in this game. By just standing at the right spot or jumping at the right spot, certain items will start to appear. The headphones will protect you from music note attacks from some of the other enemies. The second item that we just grabbed is the protection suit, which helps us against fire. I also blew up the door before the one I just did, and I was able to save the first of the Goonies. Climb up this ladder and grab yourself another one of the bombs, and then blow up the door to the right to collect the last item for this place. Now that we have all the keys, we can now move on to the next level. So drop down to the left, and keep heading over and you'll get to the locked door. All you have to do is run into the giant lock thing and it will unlock, allowing you to move on to the next stage. Stage number 2 has a lot of the fire spitting out from the ceiling, but thankfully since we grabbed the protection suit from the previous stage, it can't hurt us at all. Start off by going to the left and climb up the ladder in order to blow up the first door, getting your first item. Like I mentioned before, you're never quite sure whether it's going to be one of the keys that we need, or the Goonie that we need to save. In this door up here, blow it up and we get our second Goonie friend. It doesn't really seem to be any distinction between which Goonies are which, so I'm not sure which of the characters we're saving each time. They were definitely much more clearer in the second game, Goonies 2. Jump up here, use your bomb, and blow up this door in order to grab your next item. Work your way down the ladders and over here, watching out for the mouse, to grab this item. Then, head back up the ladder and go to the giant skull door. Entering the skull door will take you to another part of stage number 2. Going down here and heading to the right is a dead end, but if you actually stay here for a second or two and duck, you'll actually get the Peace Guy to appear, one of Konami's specialty characters that if you collect him, gives you a good amount of bonus points. After collecting him, head up this ladder and then walk to the edge and duck down. Another bag will appear so you can collect another item. This is the Raincoat, which will stop any of the steam from hurting you. Once you have that, head back up to the ladder and go back through the skull door. If you're missing some of your items, you may need to blow up a couple of the doors located in that room, but since we already have all 3 keys as well as the Goonie, we can just move on to the next level. Head all the way back to the right, then climb up this ladder and enter this skull door. This one will take you to the exit for stage number 2. All you have to do is climb now through the ladders, watching out for the mice enemies, and then go through the exit. The next 2 rooms are kind of like a little passageway between the stages. I don't really think this is considered stage number 3 quite yet. After heading down the second vine, now you're actually really in stage number 3 for sure this time. Head down to the bottom left and enter the skull. You'll have two choices either going left or right. We'll start off by going to the left. It's a little bit shorter, and we just have one door over here, so we might as well get it out of the way. Remember, since we picked up the items in the previous level, we don't have to worry about the steam hurting us here. Blowing up this door, we actually saved the Goonie for this stage, so we can just move on. We don't have to worry about that. We just now have to collect the keys. Head over to the right and make sure you do some big jumps to get over the different platforms and you don't accidentally fall into the pits. Starting in this stage, you will start to see the ghost of One-Eyed Willy, and he can run into you and do some damage to you. Over here, blow up this door and we end up finding a potion instead of one of the keys. The potions will, as you can see, give you a little bit of your health back if you've lost any. After opening up that door, head back over, jumping over the pits, and go back into the skull. Now climb up both ladders here and jump over to the right onto the pipe. Climb up this ladder to go on to the next screen. You can then see easily one of the doors, so you might as well open it up while we make our way. Inside here, we're able to find the Slingshot, which is one of your weapons that you can use in the game to take out enemies besides your kick. Afterwards, we also got a cross right away, which is your invulnerability for a short period of time. Head up into the right corner and enter the skull door. As soon as you appear, there will be a ghost waiting to hit you, so be sure to shoot at it. Head over to the left here and grab this bag. It'll get you the helmet. The helmet will protect you in case you accidentally get hit by one of the fallen stalactites. Once you have the helmet, head over to the right, ignoring that ladder, and then heading up this one to get to the door. Thankfully, there's a good amount of items that we've collected so far, so pretty much none of the enemies can really hurt us that badly. The Fratellis will keep trying to chase us down throughout the entire game, and we'll just keep knocking them right on their back each and every time. Head over to the right here and drop your bombs so you can open up this door. Thankfully, we're able to find the second key, and now we can work our way back to the previous skull that we took to enter here. Once back in this room, drop down and go down the first ladder at the very bottom. Go down here and then either drop off the side or climb down the ladder to get to the door below. Jump back over the gap, and after you jump over the second gap, duck near the very edge. You should be able to get a spaceship to spawn here, and you can collect it for a 5,000 point bonus. While we have all the needed items, there's still one more item we need to collect before we can complete the stage, but we'll get it on our way. Head all the way to the right and climb down the ladder. If you haven't, of course, gotten all the items, you'll want to climb up both ladders here and get to that door, but since we don't need it, we'll just head past it. Head over to the left and climb down this ladder. Walking over a little bit to the right, we'll get another one of those bags to appear, and this time we'll get the spring shoes. The spring shoes are a weird item, and they're not necessary at all because they only allow you to get to a secret warp. And since I'm not going to be taking the secret warp, we're really not going to worry about them all that much. They actually make you jump very, very high, but only in one particular spot where that warp is. Anyway, when we get into the next stage, head up into the upper right and open the first door. If you've been using your bullets pretty wisely, you should have plenty of slingshot ability still left over. Run over here and then jump up and enter the skull. Fall down to the bottom and of course open the door on the far right. Make your way over the large gaps, taking out the ghost along the path if he tries to get in your way. After opening up the door, continue over to the left making some jumps. Duck down here and grab yourself a bag which will get you another one of the items. Also, for a little added fun, like you can see there, if you shoot one of the Fratellis while they're jumping at you, you can knock them right down into the water and get rid of them for a little while. The item we got is the red suit. Now, this item actually protects us from the skeletons as well as the bad enemies. After getting those items, head back over to the right and enter the skull. Work your way over to the left and climb up the first vine. Don't head to the skull, instead work your way over to the left, wait for this to drop down before you can jump up and get to the door in the upper left corner. Here we're actually able to locate our first key this time. After opening up that door, work your way over to the right, picking up another bomb, of course, along the way from one of the mice, and then go into the skull. In this area, jump over to the left. You can pretty much ignore the skeletons if you've gotten the red suit by this point. So jump up here and work your way across and drop down so you can open this door. So far, we've been a little bit unlucky as far as this level is concerned, having some trouble finding some of the items that we actually need. I think I've found 3 health potions so far just in this stage. Head up into the upper right corner, watching out so you don't get squashed, and open up this door to grab ourselves, well, another health potion this time. Once you have that, head back to the skull. After going through those rooms, head back down to the right and climb down the vine. Once down here, go over to the left and open up this door. Thankfully, we're able to find another key. Instead of going down the vine in the lower left corner, instead head over to the right. Drop down and go down this vine. This will take us near the exit, but we don't have the last key yet. Climb up this vine and drop another bomb to open up the door. Thankfully, we're able to get another key and we can now complete the stage. However, before heading to the exit, we still need to pick up an item. Head over into the upper right corner and duck down, and you'll grab yourself another bag. This bag has, well, a bag in it, or a backpack. This is actually one of the most useful items because it allows us to hold not 1, but 2 bombs now at the same time. Once you have all the items, head down, open up the lock, and we move on to the next stage. Start off stage number 5 by heading down the bottom path. You won't need to jump up into the upper right at all here. Climb down the vine and then start going over to the left. Be careful to make your jump so you don't fall down into the water. Drop down, blow up the first door, and grab your first item, which, for us, happens to be our friend. There are 2 new enemies during the stage. One is an octopus, which you can see right there, and the other one is the flying fish enemy. After getting the items on the right, head all the way over to the left and open up the far left door. After opening up all the doors in this room, head back to the skull. Once back here, climb up the vine and start going over to the right. Climb up this vine and then jump over to the left. The whole planning of these stages doesn't make a whole lot of sense that we just climbed up from the bottom area and now there's more water here. Either way, climb into the stall and work your way now over to the right and open up this door. After getting that door, continue on your way and you'll get yourself to another door over on the right. Once you open up that door, climb back up the vine and continue now back over to the left. If you make a good jump, you'll actually be able to jump right up to the top platform so you can get across a little bit easier and get back to the stall. Back in this room, we open up the first door that we come to in the center of the room, and we actually are lucky enough to find one of the keys. Over here on the right, if you walk around, you may be able to get the UFO to spawn. If it does, be sure to grab it so you get another 5,000 points. Climb down here and now go down this vine, which will take you right to another door. Going down here will allow us to get to the final door, giving us our last key. Now, unfortunately though, we can't just go straight up to the door because we can't jump off the vine. So you'll have to head up and head up the next couple of vines in order to make your way back over to the left and go down the left vine. This will take you right to the platform so you can now jump down and then jump over to get to the exit and complete stage number 5. We now have only one more stage to go. Before actually entering stage number 6 though, we have another one of those passageway areas. It's rather straightforward. All you have to do is walk over to the right, climb up a vine, and go into the skull. Once inside though, you're now on the pirate ship. This is the 6th and final stage. Start off by immediately opening up the first door. In the final stage, your only goal is to open up all 4 doors, collect 3 treasures, and save the final friend. Climb up this ladder and work your way up to the top, and go over to the right and open the second door. Each of the treasures in this level give you an 8,000 point bonus, which can really rack up your score. Now, head over to the left and drop down here. You may be able to get one of the other secret items to appear. Grabbing it will give you another 5,000 point bonus, just like the other Konami special items. After getting yourself all the treasure, go over to the right and open up the last door. Doing so, you'll be able to save the girl and complete the game. After completing the game, you get a nice little ending seeing the ship take off and all the Goonies holding hands on the beach. And then you get the end screen that has congratulations spelled wrong, but we'll let that slide. Either way, that's going to wrap up this edition of Play It Through. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.